25-year-old Max Greenfield was last seen late in the evening of March 17, 2018, so he sent messages to his friends asking them to take him to the Lucky 7 casino, a 15-minute drive from his home in Brookings. Shortly before midnight, one of Max's friends responded to his request and took him to his destination. The casino was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is known that the guy visited this establishment several times. A security camera recorded Max entering the casino around 1 a.m. While he was inside, employees asked him to provide identification, but Max did not have any documents with him and was asked to leave the establishment. With little money, no documents, and no car, he was outside for some time. The camera recording shows how at 1:50 the guy returned to the entrance to the casino, where he met an adult man with whom he talked about something for about 15 minutes. The two walk across the parking lot and out of sight. "18 minutes later, the camera recorded the stained man returning to the casino, but alone without Max. Since then, no one has seen the young man again, and what happened to him is a mystery to this day. Law enforcement officers were unable to track the guy's movements through cell towers because his phone did not have a SIM card. Max's only way to communicate was through Facebook messaging via Wi-Fi. Police were able to identify the man, but they never released his name. He remained unknown to the public until the missing guy's sister watched the footage and said that the man in the video was Max's friend and his name was Jason Ledford. After watching the recording and recognizing Jason, the sister immediately contacted him and questioned him about the events of that night. The man made a stunning statement saying that he did not see Max at all that night and did not even know who he was. Jason's next communication was with the police. During interrogation, he repeatedly stated that he did not know who Max Greenfield was. During another interrogation, the man stated that he knew Max to some extent, but he knew nothing about the events of that night. Then the police showed Jason's CCTV footage of him with Max, and then his story changed again. He now claims that he and Max parted ways after they left the casino grounds. It is difficult to understand what these two are talking about, but it seems that this was not an idle conversation, and they were discussing something specific. It seems like the guy is trying to explain something to Ledford. It's worth paying attention to the guy's gestures. It looks like he's indicating some direction en route to something, after which they move there together. The two walked along the entire parking lot and then disappeared from sight. What happened in the next 18 minutes remains unknown. After this time, Ledford returned to the casino again, however, without Max. The news about the guy's disappearance instantly spread among the locals, and soon the following information leaked to the world. According to her, Max was killed in a house near the casino. From the satellite, it can be seen that this is not the center of a large city, but a rather remote, sparsely populated area. What's remarkable is that the house where Max was allegedly killed is in the same direction that he points with his outstretched arm as he walks through the parking lot. The house in question was known to be some sort of drug den, and Jason and Max were involved in drugs. It is known that Jason actively used illegal substances, and Max did the same, but for him, this was a thing of the past, and at the time of his disappearance, the guy was taking medication. The theory behind this is that everything that happened that night was somehow related to drugs. According to unconfirmed information, the guy was killed as a result of an unsuccessful deal, after which his body was moved to another place or destroyed. Neither the guy's clothes nor his bag were ever found. Police subsequently searched the area around the house using body search dogs, but to no avail. The only witness to the events of that night was the CCTV camera, which recorded the last moments of Max's life as he disappeared forever into the darkness. Jason Ledford is the last known person to see the guy that night. He seems to know a lot more about Max's disappearance than he's letting on. Even if Jason is not the killer, at least he probably knows what happened then. Years after Max Greenfield disappeared, Jason Ledford told the murdered guy's sister that he knew where his body was. According to the man, it is hidden somewhere in one of the abandoned mines in the area. After conducting numerous searches and interviews, police said they have suspects in the case, but their names have not been publicly released. Law enforcement believes that third parties were involved in Max's disappearance, and the case is currently being investigated as a homicide. What happened to Max Greenfield and where he disappeared to this day remains a mystery.